Welcome to Maths for All. I'm Aisling Flynn. This is Algebra 2.2, Multiplying and Factorising 2. So we're first asked to remove the brackets or multiply. And here we have a 2 by 2 multiplication, x plus 4 by x plus 3. So we're going to use a 2 by 2 grid, x plus 4 by x plus 3. We get x squared plus 3x plus 4x plus 12. And presenting our answer, we have x squared plus 3x plus 4x plus 12. Okay, so we get 4 terms to our product as expected. But if you look here, some of the terms can be combined. We have 3x and 4x. They appear here on the diagonal. Okay, that's important for later, that we get them on the diagonal. And together they make 7x. So my final answer there is x squared plus 7x plus 12. Okay, this is known as a quadratic trinomial. Quadratic means it has a variable to the power of 2, like x squared. And trinomial means that it has 3 parts to it. So starting with the highest power of x, x squared, then just regular x, or x to the power of 1, and then no x, or x to the power of 0. So here we have another 2 by 2 multiplication. Use our 2 by 2 array, 2x minus 5 multiplied by x plus 4. And we'll continue to put the results of our multiplications into the grid. So 2x squared and 2x by 4 is 8x, minus 5 by x minus 5x, and minus 5 by plus 4 is minus 20. Okay, so as expected, we have 4 terms to our multiplication, but as we saw in the previous example, 2 of the terms have x to the power of 1, we can combine them, and they appear in the array or the grid on the diagonal there. And 8 minus 5 gives us 3x in the center, so 2x squared plus 3x minus 20 is the result. Okay, let's multiply this 2 by 2. So 3x minus 1 multiplied by x minus 7. 3x by x is 3x squared. 3x by minus 7 is minus 21x. Minus 1 by x is just minus x. And minus 1 by minus 7 gives me plus 7. Okay, so presenting the answer, we have 4 terms, but as before, the middle 2 terms can be combined. They appear here on the diagonal, and minus 21 minus another 1 gives us minus 22x for the middle term. So we have 3x squared minus 22x plus 7 is the result. So here's another 2 by 2 multiplication. Now notice the 2 factors, they're very similar. We've got 4x minus 5 by 4x plus 5. So they're very alike. The only difference is that one has a minus 5 and one has a plus 5. Okay, so just the signs are different. Let's see how this works out. Okay, 4x minus 5 multiplied by 4x plus 5. So 4x by 4x is 16x squared. 4x by 5 is 20x. Minus 5 by 4x is minus 20x. And minus 5 by plus 5 is minus 25. So presenting the answer, and let's look at the middle terms. So we've got plus 20x minus 20x. There they are on the diagonal, or 20 minus 20, which of course will give me 0. So we just have a 2-term answer, 16x squared minus 25. Okay, and this. So now we've a change in instruction. We're now asked to factorize, and we're given a product x squared plus 5x plus 4. Now we know from our previous multiplication that this is the result of a 2 by 2 multiplication. and that the middle terms combined to leave us with 3 terms instead of 4. Okay, so by factorising, we're going to work backwards from this product, and we're going to find the 2 brackets that were multiplied by each other in the first instance. Okay, so this does take a bit of getting used to. Pause and rewind whenever you need to. So we'll start with a 2 by 2 array, and we're going to start by filling in the parts that we know for sure. So always in the previous multiplications, the x squared term appeared in the top left, so we'll put that there. And the number or the constant part appeared in the bottom right, so we'll put +4 in there. Now we have to work out the diagonals. We have to work out some combination that will make plus 5x for us. Okay, so we're going to start by looking at the factors of 4. We have choices, 1 times 4 or 2 times 2 to make that 4. And you ask yourself, which combination can give plus 5x on the diagonal? Okay, so that will be the 1 and the 4, because if we do +1 +4, we can make +5. Okay, so let's see how this is going to work. Okay, it will give us +1x there and +4x there, in total giving us +5x. So now we have to look for our common factors. So the top row gives me x as a common factor there. The left-hand column gives me x as a common factor there. The right-hand column gives me +4 is common, and the bottom row gives me +1 is common. Okay, now you take a moment there and we'll check, does it work if you remultiply all the parts again? Okay, and it does work. So to present the answer, we have the product x squared plus 5x plus 4 was made from the factors x plus 1 in one bracket and x plus 4 in the other bracket. Okay, we've now factorized. Okay, let's do a few more because practice makes perfect, and really you need to just do a whole pile of these yourself to get used to it. Okay, again, 2 by 2 grid, put in what we know for sure, x squared and -12. Now 12 is one of those numbers with lots of factors. If you start with the smallest natural number, 1, and work your way up, we'll get all the factors. So 1 times 12 makes 12, 2 times 6 makes 12, 3 times 4 makes 12, and then 4 times 3, but you've started to repeat yourself there, so we can stop. Okay, now we have to look at those 3 options and which combination can we use together to make a +4x, okay, on the diagonal. So that will be the 2 and the 6. If we do -2 and a +6, or 6 minus 2, we can make 4. Okay, so -2x and +6x. Incidentally, it doesn't matter which box you put them in, it'll work out for you. Okay, so now look for your common factors. So yeah, we've got our diagonal right. Look for common factors. Top row, x is common. Left column, x is common. Right column, 6 is common. And bottom row, -2. So the minus is in both parts. Okay, and 2 is common. Now, you might have maybe chance the minus with the 6 initially, but when you remultiply, you see that's not going to work. Okay, so have a look at your numbers, remultiply, check each box is working, and when you're happy, we can present the answer. So our product was made from the factors x minus 2 times x plus 6. Okay, and students often ask, it doesn't matter which bracket you write first. If you wrote x plus 6 multiplied by x minus 2, that is also correct. Okay, here's another one, x squared minus x minus 12. So our 2 by 2, put in the x squared and the constant part. Again, we'll make our list for 12. So this will show us how different options give different amounts. So which one will we choose this time to give minus 1x? Okay, minus 1. So that's going to be the 3 and the 4, I think. So plus 3 minus 4 will give minus 1 on the diagonal. So fill them in. That's going to give us minus 1x. Okay, take out your common factors. Okay, minus 4 is common there, and plus 3 on the bottom. Okay, and present your answer. All right. Now, here's one that is slightly different and a little more difficult because you don't simply have 1x squared. Here you have 2x squared, which is going to affect your middle term also. Okay, so let's see how we might do that. So it's a 2 by 2 again. We have 2x squared plus 45 that we can fill in straight away. And we're going to try to make minus 19x. So take your 45, let's look for all the factors, starting with the smallest natural number, 1 times 45, 2 doesn't work, 3 times 15, 4 doesn't work, 5 times 9, 6, no, 7, no, 8, no, and 9. You're back to repeating yourself. You've used 9 already. Okay, so we can stop there. And we have factors of 2, which are 1 and 2. So which combination can give minus 19x on the diagonal? So we have to use a combination of one set from the factors of 2 and one set from the factors of 45 and use them together to make minus 19. Okay, now I have had a bit of practice at this, right? So I'm straight away spotting that I'm going to use this pair together. Why? Because 2 times minus 5, so 2 times 5 gives me 10, and 1 times 9 gives me 9. Okay, so, and yes, we have to make minus 19, so I give the minuses, minus 5 and minus 9, and that gives me minus 10 and minus 9, which will give me minus 19. Okay, so like I said, I've had a bit of practice at this, so I come to the conclusion quickly, but often it may take you a bit of rough work, so take out a page and work at the numbers and see how you can do it, okay? Often it will take you a couple of goes to get the right combination, and that is completely okay. So let's put those into our table. Let's take out common factors. So 2, oh yeah, there's our diagonal. So 2x on the top row, just x on the left, minus 5 on the right, and minus 9 on the bottom row. Okay, and they're presenting my answer. Pause that and go back through it if you need to. Just one other thing that some textbooks advise, to give you a clue as to which combination of numbers you should use, you can use something called the guide number. Okay, so the guide number is given by using the coefficient of the x, so the 2, and the last number 45. Okay, so 2 times 5 gives 90. So what should you do with this guide number 90? You should look for factors of 90 that can make the 19. Okay, and quite clearly that's 10 times 9 can make the 19. So if you go back to what I was doing earlier, 10 and 9, so you can just look for the numbers first and figure out the signs plus or minus second. So I have to make a 10 and a 9. Well, that makes your choice above a little easier. 2 5s gives the 10 and 1 9 gives the 9. Okay, so that's the use of the guide number. Again, rewind, go back through that little by little, and then maybe take a page and practice it yourself. Okay, factorize this one. So this one looks a little different there are only two parts to it. 9x squared minus 4. It was made from a 2 by 2 multiply. 9x squared minus 4. Okay, but where are the x's? Well, basically, we have 0x. So factors of 4, 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. Factors of 9, 1 times 9, 3 times 3. So we have to look for a combination that's going to give us 0x on the diagonal. Okay, now if we're to get 0x, basically we'll have to have something x minus that same something x. So we're looking to make the same thing. Okay, so that tells me to choose 3 times 3 because they're the same, and 2 times 2 because they're the same. Using them together, we can make plus 6 and minus 6. Okay, so putting that into my table, on the diagonal, we now have 0x. Okay, so take out your common factors. 3x on the top row, 3x on the left column, 2, just 2 on the right column, and minus 2 on the left, or on the bottom row. Okay, so my factors are 3x plus 2 and 3x minus 2. Okay, so we saw this in multiplication. When you have pretty much the same factor, but one has plus and one has minus, well then the middle term becomes 0. Okay, and that can be very useful going forward. Okay, the 9x squared minus 4 is known as the difference of two squares. If we were to use the guide number to help us here, 9 and the 4, 9 times 4 gives me 36. So you're looking for factors of 36 that could make 0. That'll be 6 times 6. When you take them away, 6 minus 6, you get 0, which would bring you back to there. Okay, so again, you need to spend some time yourself, and practice makes perfect. So, and this was called, as I mentioned, the difference of two squares. Now, try that. Use your quiz to help and your written exercises. Okay? Here's a glossary.